5 signs that make men question if a woman has recently been intimate. Many men ask the same question: can I tell if a woman has recently been intimate with someone else? The truth is that many people believe they can spot certain changes, but appearances alone are never proof. Still, there are behaviors and physical changes that often make people suspicious. A wise man does not jump to conclusions. He watches, compares patterns, and pays attention to what changes over time. One strange moment means very little. A series of unusual changes is what deserves your attention. Here are the first 2 signs that people often talk about. The first sign: a different body odor. Every person has a natural body scent. If you spend enough time with someone, you become familiar with it without even thinking. That is why a sudden change may catch your attention. Sometimes a woman may have a stronger or unusual smell than normal. This change could come from her body or her intimate area. Many men immediately become suspicious, but a smart man knows there are many possible reasons. For example, the smell could be caused by sweating, hormones, poor hygiene, certain foods, stress, exercise, or even a medical condition. Others believe it can also change after recent intimacy. The key is not to react with emotion. Instead, ask yourself a simple question: is this a one-time situation, or has something truly changed? A man ruled by emotion creates stories in his mind. A man ruled by strategy gathers facts before making any decision. Imagine you notice an unusual smell after she has spent the entire day working outside in hot weather. That situation is very different from noticing repeated changes without any clear explanation. Context always matters. The second sign: she feels different during intimacy. Another claim people often make is that intimacy may feel different than before. If you know your partner well, you naturally notice when something changes. Some men believe they can feel a difference, while others cannot. The reality is that the body can change for many reasons, including stress, natural arousal, the menstrual cycle, childbirth, muscle relaxation, comfort with a partner, or overall health. Because of this, no single physical sensation can prove that someone has recently been intimate with another person. The real lesson is not about chasing physical clues. It is about observing patterns. For example, if someone suddenly becomes distant, avoids eye contact, changes daily routines, becomes secretive with their phone, and several unusual behaviors appear at the same time, you may have a reason to ask honest questions. But if you focus on only one physical change, you may accuse an innocent person and damage the relationship. A strategic man understands that truth rarely hides in one sign. Truth is found in a pattern of actions repeated over time. Never let suspicion control your mind. Let observation guide your judgment. Patience reveals more than panic ever will. The third sign: she constantly says she's too tired. Many men believe that sudden tiredness can be a warning sign. But a strategic man never judges a situation based on one excuse alone. Everyone gets tired. Long work hours, stress, family responsibilities, poor sleep, or health problems can drain anyone's energy. That is completely normal. However, some men become suspicious when a woman who normally enjoys spending time with them suddenly begins saying things like, "I'm too tired tonight. Can we skip today? I don't feel like it anymore." One excuse means nothing. But if it becomes a new pattern without any obvious reason, it naturally raises questions. A wise man doesn't argue. He observes. For example, imagine someone who was always affectionate and excited to be close to you. Then, over several weeks, her interest disappears completely while other unusual behaviors also begin to appear. That combination may deserve an honest conversation. The lesson is simple: never let one moment control your judgment. Patterns always reveal more than emotions. The fourth sign: unusual marks on the body. Another thing people often mention is unexpected marks on the body. Some marks are completely harmless. A person may bump into furniture, exercise, carry heavy bags, or accidentally bruise themselves. But if you notice fresh marks that seem unusual and the explanation doesn't match what you see, you may naturally become curious. For example, visible fingerprints, bruises, or love bites are sometimes noticed by partners. Still, no mark alone proves anything. A strategic thinker never builds a conclusion from a single clue. Instead, he quietly asks himself, does this match everything else I've been observing? One mark can have many explanations. Several unexplained changes happening together deserve attention. The fifth sign, a different appearance. Another claim people often make is that someone's appearance may suddenly seem different after spending time away. Some men notice messy hair, wrinkled clothes, smudged makeup, or a generally different look compared to how she left the house. There are countless innocent reasons for this. Strong wind, rain, traveling, exercising, riding in a car with the windows open, or simply having a busy day can easily change someone's appearance. That is why appearance alone is never evidence. For example, if she attended a crowded event, worked all day, or spent hours outside, naturally her hair may not look perfect when she returns. The mistake many people make is treating one change as absolute proof. A Machiavellian mind works differently. It collects information quietly. It compares today's behavior with yesterday's. It studies consistency instead of chasing assumptions. If you notice unusual behavior, repeated excuses, unexplained distance, secretive actions, and several physical changes happening at the same time, you may decide to ask calm, respectful questions instead of making emotional accusations. Remember this principle. Power belongs to the person who observes patiently, not to the person who reacts instantly. The strongest position is always built on facts, not fear. A single sign means very little. A repeated pattern over time is what deserves your attention. Another sign some people notice, a sudden change in her appearance. Some people believe that a woman's appearance changes depending on her emotional and physical state. For example, after a long period of stress, poor sleep, or emotional pressure, the skin may look dull, dry, or tired. Some people may even develop pimples or lose their natural glow. Then, suddenly, her skin looks brighter than usual. She seems happier, more confident, and more energetic. Many men immediately become suspicious. But a strategic man knows something important. A glowing appearance alone proves nothing. Good sleep, healthy food, exercise, proper skin care, less stress, or simply being in a better mood can completely change someone's appearance. That is why intelligent men never build a conclusion from a single observation. Instead, they connect every piece of information together. Imagine this situation. Her routine suddenly changes. She becomes emotionally distant. She avoids honest conversations. She guards her phone more than ever. She frequently gives unclear explanations about where she has been. At the same time, you notice several physical or behavioral changes. Now you are no longer looking at one clue. You are looking at a pattern. And patterns deserve attention. The biggest mistake most men make. Many men think one strange moment is enough to prove betrayal. That is how emotions defeat intelligence. A Machiavellian thinker does the opposite. He never reacts to a single sign. He watches quietly. He compares today's actions with yesterday's behavior. He studies habits instead of chasing feelings. Power belongs to the man who controls his emotions while everyone else is controlled by theirs. Not every woman is the same. There is another truth many men eventually learn. Some people are loyal because loyalty is part of their character. Others continue searching for excitement no matter how much love, attention, or effort they receive. You cannot change someone whose values are different from yours. No amount of affection can create loyalty where loyalty never existed. That is why wisdom is more valuable than blind trust. Choose your partner carefully, and pay attention to consistent actions rather than beautiful words. The final lesson. Every sign discussed today has many possible explanations. Being tired. Looking different. Having glowing skin. Changes in appearance. None of these, by themselves, prove anything. A wise man never accuses without evidence. Instead, he asks respectful questions, listens carefully, and observes with patience. Real truth is rarely hidden in one event. It reveals itself through repeated behavior over time. Remember this principle. Emotion rushes to judgment. Strategy waits for certainty. The man who masters observation protects both his peace of mind and his future far better than the man who reacts to every suspicion. If you found this video valuable, don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Like this video if you learned something new. Subscribe for more videos about psychology, relationships, power, and human behavior that most people never talk about. Share this video with your friends and family. Someone you know may need this advice today. Now tell me in the comments. Which sign do you think is the most accurate, and why? I read your comments, and your opinion might inspire a future video. Thank you for watching. Stay calm, stay observant, and remember. The person who understands human nature always has the advantage. I'll see you in the next video.